Start recording. Okay, this is my 2-camera rig. Sony RX10 and Osmo Pocket 3. And what we're looking at is a new habitat right here. A fallen tree that was standing a couple weeks ago. And what's happening is these birds are loving it. So they are flying down here. You must look deeper, child. A high frame rate slow motion is a lot more interesting than a photograph. It's capturing behavior. right there again. Okay, so little birds love this kind of habitat. That's not surprising. It's surrounded by water. There's endless food in the form of insects. What do you have in the way of nooks and crannies? You know, I can find any good nooks, crannies. This is a pretty little interesting nook. I heard a woodpecker. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Look at it. Oh my god, this is cool. So, I keep setting up action cameras down by the water, and it's a surprise. I captured a blue heron. So Action 4 is down on my secret beach. Look at this. Stop recording. Thank you. Is there a cost to this? If I have enough battery power, if I have enough SD cards, it's not exactly expensive. I could just, if you take a spot like this is what I was doing earlier. Take a spot like this here. There it is. Oh my god. Pocket 3 beats my Sony for this purpose. It absolutely kicks Sony's butt. But the other camera, well, I'm doing high frame rate and telephoto. Pocket 3 is chasing dragonflies. Oh my god, it's in my hand. If you are invited on a dragon quest, you should do it. You should go. These dragons are keeping me busy. I mean, really busy. Like, this is an opportunity that's kind of rare. They're just swarms of them. So in this high frame rate, you'd have to be pretty darn agile to be fast enough to capture what you want to capture. Now, another way of looking at this is, okay, so the camera's on this tiny tripod. There's a bunch of dragonflies here. Proceed to shooting standby. So when I zoom in here, so let's say I'm zoomed into here. Start recording. You can just keep buffering, right? Like, okay, I didn't catch anything. I've stopped it. I'm recording again. Buffering. Nothing there. Buffering. So right now, it says starts recording with the movie button, but below that, the circle returns you to shooting setting. So in order to change the focus, I can't be in standby, right? So I'm zooming, zoom in, then I press the circle, now I'm buffering. But I can watch, nothing happened, cancel it, buffering. So if it was a bird's nest, oh, that does look like a dragonfly. So here's the Manfrotto Monopod with RX10. This is the PGY Tech clamp that I just took this camera from. This tilt head is a Benro DJ90. Now what I'm doing here, I've got HFR set, high frame rate, and I'm using the EVF. So Pocket 3 is in this Sunny Life case, but it actually doesn't need to be for this. It would for a neck mount, because on the bottom I've got this cap lock adapter. So where there was a 1/4 inch screw is a cap lock. This cap lock is on snap lock. Snap lock fits ARCA. That means these two standards are joined. An action camera standard and a regular photography standard. So how close to the ground can I get with Sure with Pocket 3? If we flatten this, we have a 90-degree bend. Now we turn this way, but I need to turn it like that. Insane. So, okay, to grip what's happening here, we go, I'm going to shade the screen. Does that work? We go to spin 180. The camera just pointed that way. So, this camera is about like 3-4 inches off the ground. Now, what's getting really freaky about this experience is I'm bumping into the same individual animals, all kinds of them. So I could turn it into a book or a story. So last night, I found my screaming animal. I've been wondering about it for 3 months. It's like, actually no, since last year. There's this creepy sound. It's like, it sounds like a little scream. And, wow. Especially like if you're just sitting there in the dark. You have no idea what these things are. It sounded like something was getting attacked. But that's not the case. It's a fox. Foxes make a screaming sound. Like a sort of shrill scream. So, this fox saw me and screamed at me. And then it backed away. It turned around and looked at me and screamed at me again. Screaming foxes. Gotta show you my YouTube studio. This here is the foyer, and um, there's different facilities. Like there's a yoga place back there. There's right here, you could sit and meditate right here, and like you can't see anything, just marsh. Now, once you go past the foyer, there's the tanning booth, but it can get pretty warm, so you might have to retreat into here in the studio. Well, the birds are like elevator music, and they're pretty much omnipresent. So in this kind of place, I'm listening for birds, but I'm also watching for them. A lot of them aren't making noise, but they're moving around. You can hear them move sometimes. You can see them move. And this is when the light starts coming in sideways. So I was walking around with this Manfrotto Monopod. It's still outfitted with the clamp down low for this camera, while the Sony would go up here. I put Pocket 3 on top by using this little adapter here. So this tilt head wasn't really used. That's for the other camera. When I have both of them on here, the Sony goes there, the Pocket 3 goes there. So put this down. Now, the Sue is here. Stick this adapter here. So this camera is just going to sit in here and charge up while I play with the other one. What would you think if you were a bear? You're like, you know, looking for berries and stuff. And, huh? Oh, we have some photo curiosities here, like tripods, cameras underneath the roof, and oh my, oh my, oh my. Up here is a PGY Tech Beetle camera clip, clipped on to the roof. I mean, original. So, yeah, that Sony can slide it in there, it snaps it in, it locks it. I can have my camera sitting straight above me, ready to grab at any time. You can see a lot of videos where people are in their tents and there's animals right outside, right? And what do? They just freak out. I just sit up and look at the animals. Normally, you think of a tarp as a kind of V-shaped thing, but okay, this bump here is the Heron spreader bar. Now, this door opening is open. You can see this triangle shape of the Heron. So in here is the Heron. On this end, we have a zipper. This is zipped right up to there. So this door is open at the moment, and this can zip up. So what I'm gonna do, I really gotta try and get this down to science, because these electronics are expensive. Everything's going in there. So the back of the bike is under the tire. The front doesn't matter. It's a perfect example why I prefer a tarp. It's wide open, right? So sitting back in the Helinox, sitting in the Helinox. Now, this camera is off till I press this. I just powered it on. Now, this display, you can pop it out. You can pull it out like that. It's not a vlogging camera. You can tilt it up. So if you wanted to be close to the ground, you can look top down on this. So let's zoom in here so you can see anything. If I'm bored, I can just keep trying to find dragonflies. That's fascinating. So there's two zoom speeds. If you put slower, less pressure on it, it zooms slower. But I don't want to touch this, right? Because I might move it. So if I'm using this remote, I'm not touching it. planes, trains, and automobiles can take you anywhere, right? But aren't you then on a rail, or you're on a flight path, or you're on a road? And all those exotic places, how much do people actually see of them? So let's call this a mobile field recording rig setup. I mean everything. The bike, the chair, the hammock, the cameras. So we start with my beloved Helinox. This is not your average capture. So I just keep filming. Like I just take breaks and I keep going. So sit down in this chair. Of course, my bike is here. This is all hand sewn, but it's full of dye bags. Down beside me is the kitchen. We've got the Sea2 Summit water saw. There's a faucet. It even has a shower. I haven't tried that. This piece is shower head down here. I've got water. Got freshly brewed coffee. This is all kitchen stuff. Stove. So this is here now. The RX10 is charging. It's got its own power bank in there right now. There's another power bank. This one's charging Action 4, and this camera I'm holding is 100% charged. So is the microphone. It was sitting in this picture here. And then we've got the tiny Shure and the Manfrotto with the Benro tilt head. That is more camera accessories. So, oh, and food. This food is off the ground. It should never, ever be on the ground. Ever. Last night, a fox was right in front of me and it hissed at me. And it might have smelled that food. I didn't even know the hiss. It hissed at me. Like a cat. But more like a fox about 10 feet away from me. And the first time a fox barked at me, it startled me. Most people have never heard these sounds. The ground squirrels around here will eat right through that bag. Gulls will steal anything that's in the open. What is mobility? Moving from A to B, wireless roaming, gasoline roads. What is mobility? You think mobility is motion. You think so, don't you? Mobility. Yeah. Mobility is the ability to stop. So, right here is a beach chair. Underneath that is a bivvy with an air mattress and an air pillow rolled up it can be deployed in 2 minutes. Underneath that is a hammock, and back there is a full rain roof and my rain gear. Mobility is the ability to stop. So if I step down in here, so these grasses are way above my head, like 10 feet tall. It's like 5 or 6 feet above my head up here.